YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back, and we got some more rankings for the upcoming season for you guys today. Going with pass catching duo rankings, 32 to 1. Every single team ranked. I actually think all 32 teams are a pretty good duo. So if you see a team at the bottom, it doesn't necessarily mean I think they're bad. I think all these teams are good. Some teams will have two receivers as their top duo. Some teams will have a receiver and a tight end. And there's actually one team that has a tight end duo as their best pass-catching duo. So essentially with these rankings, they're predictions. We're getting ready for the upcoming season, how they'll play. So, of course, rookies are included. Everybody's included if they're worthy of making the cut here. So really excited about this one. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button. Subscribe. All kinds of NFL content here on the channel. Trying to reach that 10K goal on our Twitter. A lot of you have been helping us out. I appreciate that very much. There's constant NFL news on there, so it's definitely worth it. Unfortunately, Cam Akers got hurt earlier this morning. We found out it's just awful news. I was really thinking he was going to have a big-time season, but he still has a bright future. Some Quan Alexander news, a couple D tackles available. We've been breaking them down. So things are actually starting to heat up a little bit, even if it's some bad news, some good, some of these free agents that are still sitting around about to sign. So make sure you follow our Twitter there, always active. So 32 to 1 in terms of receiving duos here. Texans will be at the bottom here, but they have a stud receiver in Brandon Cooks. And originally I was thinking Randall Cobb, but I think the rookie Nico Collins from Michigan will actually step up and will, at the end of the year or the season as a whole, probably look like their second best receiver. They're also kind of in somewhat of a retool / rebuild window. So here's your opportunity to kind of just focus on developing guys like Nico Collins. Would be fantastic. Brandon Cooks, if healthy, is still a phenomenal receiver. Definitely a deep threat. The Lions will be next. I love TJ Hawkinson, a fantastic tight end. Definitely, in my opinion, he's around top 5 in terms of tight end. He's going to continue to get better. Just a total package type of guy. Tyrell Williams is expected to be their best receiver. It's a spot where they can get better. They also have Perriman. I like the Amon-Ra St. Brown draft pick. That's a fantastic pick in my opinion. Great value pick. Williams will likely be their most targeted receiver. I've never been a huge Tyrell Williams guy. I was a little surprised that the Raiders gave him the contract that he did a few years ago. Just kind of a big body guy down the field. But they got a big-time tight end to help. Colts will be next. Yeah, the Colts, I actually like their depth. Remember, they got Paris Campbell coming back. They got a couple other guys that can play. Maybe they don't have that big-time standout guy, but Michael Pittman's kind of heading that way. He was a little more impressive than we expected him to be year one, which was his rookie year last year. I think a lot of people will probably put T.Y. Hilton as their main guy or their second guy, and he is. I'd say he's probably their second most talented receiver after Pittman. I guess the problem here is if you look at last year, which was for T.Y. Hilton a healthy season, he was actually third in snaps, only considering receivers. Zach Pascal was actually second. He was a pretty good blocker. That's why they like him in there, because they are going to run the ball a lot. So that is the tough part here, because he actually won't be in the top 2 in snaps, even with just receivers. But these are their 2 most talented guys. We'll see if Pittman can take that next step. What I liked about Pittman is they were kind of getting him going underneath slants, quick routes, and that was kind of surprising to me because we didn't see a whole lot of that at USC. So that's actually a really good sign. But again, yeah, I like even these guys, these duos at the bottom. I like. Look at the Eagles, Devontae Smith. I think he can have an instant impact type of season, kind of like a Justin Jefferson type. That's kind of asking a lot there, but he's similar. He gets open, he gets separation. He's great after the catch. He can go up and catch the ball. He's got great hands, all that. And, so I think he could be an instant impact. Dallas Goedert. I'm not a huge Goddard guy compared to most of the world here, but he's a solid tight end. I think we're going to see a step up and an increase in reps here. At the moment, they still have Ertz, Jalen Reagor. I definitely still believe in him. They have Travis Fulgham. So that's kind of the good sign. They got a collection of players here. It's weird seeing the Eagles having pretty good depth. Just some guys got to prove things. Devontae Smith, which I think he can in his rookie year. Goddard's got to step up, in my opinion. Saints at 28. Yeah, this is probably the biggest kind of carrying going on here. Michael Thomas had an off year last year. It's because he had multiple injuries. Even when he was trying to play, it felt like he was not even close to 100%. So let's hope he gets back on track this year, because, again, he could be the best receiver in football. Tre'Quan Smith, he can play, don't get me wrong. But they definitely need another. In my opinion, I'm looking for 2 number 1s everywhere in today's NFL. my opinion, they can get better in terms of the number 2 spot, but they also can use another number 1 next to Michael Thomas for Jameis Winston here. So, yeah, there is some carrying going on there, which resulted in them a little lower. Jaguars next. I actually like their trio a lot, but this is a duo video. But you could actually include Laviska Shenault, who I'm a big fan of. But I think these guys will kind of get their most targets, most reps. Marvin Jones has always been an underrated receiver. Just has some minor injuries pop up. Very good deep threat. Chark, very good down the sideline as well. Deep threat that has that speed, the hands. So I like them with Trevor Lawrence. I really like this duo. It's just tough having that 27 next to a duo like this because I really like it, and especially the Jets as well. Corey Davis had a monster season last year. You guys know if you're with this pre-draft process, I love Elijah Moore, huge Elijah Moore guy. I think he's going to be a stud right away. I was a big Denzel Mims guy too. And they have Jamison Crowder, who obviously could play. I think most people probably would predict to be Corey Davis and Jamison Crowder. I just think Elijah Moore is that good. Can't wait to watch him. Can't wait to see what everyone's kind of waiting for. Is Corey Davis, is he really improving that much? Is there going to be a drop-off going from Titans to Jets? We will see. The Jets actually might pass a little more than the Titans did last year, so could he get better? A lot of questions there. At the end of the day, he's a good receiver that looks like he's getting better, so I really like that duo. Just shows how good, NFL is in a very good place with its talent, more talent than it's ever had ever. So it's a good time to be alive and be a football fan, really. Ravens, Mark Andrews, one of the better tight ends in football. And then Rashad Bateman. I could put Hollywood Brown here. I just really like Bateman. You can't have crazy expectations right away, especially because the Ravens are definitely a run-first team. But Bateman's a pretty safe pick. It's a pretty safe bet that he's going to make some kind of impact. It's not like the receivers they have been taking. It's a guy you can put in a slot, play outside. He can catch the ball downfield, contested catch, get the separation. So he should be pretty productive. I think he'll be their best receiver right away. Maybe I have a lot of expectations on the rookie, but that's where I set him at. But again, it's not crazy high. But yeah, pretty good duo, including a tight end there. Next group of teams, Dolphins next. I like this young duo. You can go multiple different routes here. I actually went with the newcomers here, the speedsters, Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle. And the reason I did that is because I think they fit the Tua offense the best. Devontae Parker is a fantastic receiver, had a monster year 2 seasons ago. Mike Gesicki is a fantastic tight end. Really broke out last year. But I think these are the guys that there's a reason why they picked up Fuller and drafted Jalen Waddle. This is Tua ball receivers right here. So these guys will stand out the most. I guess there's some injury concern. Fuller's had minor injuries pop up. Waddle had that ankle situation, but not really super worried. Fuller suspended for the first game. I think this is the main duo of this group, and I like the young speedy duo a lot. Chargers here. Maybe Keenan Allen carries a little bit. I think Mike Williams is better than what his stats would show. He's maybe one of the best contested catch receivers in football. I think it's a matter of targeting him more. I know he doesn't get as much separation as you would like, but he can make the play. He can make that big play. So could have put Jared Cook here instead of Williams. I really love the fit of Josh Palmer, the draft pick out of Tennessee. It's a perfect fit for kind of that Justin Herbert type game. He's a deep ball specialist. So I'd watch out for him, actually. And they had a couple under-the-radar guys step up last year. Maybe Keenan Allen carries a little bit here, but not too much. Broncos, always been a huge Courtland Sutton fan. Got to stay healthy, but always been a contested catch guy, but you actually can get him the ball underneath, and he's extremely good after the catch. Judy's got to step up a little bit, mainly catch the ball a little bit better. I almost put Noah Fant here, but I think having Sutton back helps Judy. It can kind of get him going a little more. So I thought this was a duo. It's an extremely good young duo. Again, another example of how good the duos are in today's NFL. Giants, they had Kenny Golladay, who at any given moment could look like a top 5 receiver. I know he went from Matthew Stafford to Daniel Jones, so that could affect it a little bit. But Jones is pretty good throwing the ball downfield. People won't realize that, so that's a good sign here for Kenny Golladay. And Slayton has obviously been a lot better than we expected coming into the NFL, and another good speed deep threat here. Washington next, Terry McLaurin has been fantastic, a do-it-all type receiver. Going to add Curtis Samuel, which I like the signing. I love the fit in Washington's style of their offense, their system, and he really took off last year. That's a great sign, but I don't think you could set firm expectations up high because it's been a small sample size for him, but I believe in him. I'm definitely confident, but pretty good duo here that complement each other very well. They played Ohio State together as well. That's fantastic. We had a tight end duo here. I was very close to putting Jacoby Myers in here, and they do have Nelson Aguilar, who really improved. Sometimes you see guys that did they improve because of the system they're in, but you could see parts of Aguilar's game that he really improved his game, so I could have thrown him in here as well. Kendrick Bourne's actually pretty underrated, but the Patriots want to go back to playing that Patriot way, that tight end ball, and I think a unique tight end like Jonnu Smith, and then a very good catcher over the middle of the field, and Hunter Henry, good red zone threat. I think they complement each other very well. This is who the Patriots will target. This is who they will use. So it's a pretty damn good duo here. If they had a standout receiver, a big-time receiver, that would help a lot more here, but I really like this group that they got. Panthers next, DJ Moore, extremely underrated, and Robbie Anderson looked very good for them last year. Now, Darnold, he is familiar with Anderson, that is their quarterback. So will this help or hurt this receiver unit? Darnold has to pick up his play big time, but some talented receivers here. Raiders next, Darren Waller carries a little bit, fantastic talent, but I do think, and we're not basing this off of Henry Ruggs' play last year, I do think he will play much better this year. I mean, he's going to have to play a lot better, but I think he'll play a good amount better here. He was a top prospect for a reason. I think they will get him going. They're going to, design some things for him, and I think that'll help, quite a bit. And he had his moments last year. Can't forget he had his moments. So I'm kind of banking on with this ranking that it's not as much of a carry as it looks like on your screen. Looking at those names, I think Ruggs will pick it up a little bit. Next group of teams here, Steelers, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Chase Claypool here. Claypool with a monster rookie season, so he can continue to improve here. And I like how they used him in different ways. Juju maybe a little underwhelming last year, but still a fantastic receiver. They also have Deontay Johnson. He's got to catch the ball a little better, though. The Bears, Allen Robinson, a big-time receiver. I like that. They kind of used him in the slot a little more last year. And then Darnell Mooney, definitely not a big name, but a guy to watch out for. I thought he had a pretty damn good rookie year for a small school, day 3 guy. Speedster, gets separation, good route runner. We were just talking about Henry Ruggs. Pre-draft, I was calling Mooney kind of that day 3 Henry Ruggs, and he actually looked better than Henry Ruggs, in my opinion, last year. So pretty interesting. So that's a guy to look out for. The Bengals next. I got a rookie in here because there's rookies that'll do big things here. Jamar Chase is a fantastic receiver prospect, familiar with Joe Burrow. Tyler Boyd is arguably the best true slot receiver in football, and it feels like he's getting better. They also have T. Higgins, but I really, really like this duo. It feels like going into last year, I was saying Tyler Boyd kind of feels like Justin Jefferson style player for Joe Burrow, and that's kind of what it was. Boyd obviously still there, and then Jamar Chase he's Jamar Chase for Joe Burrow. So it almost feels like a Chase Jefferson duo for Burrow all over again. So I love that. The Rams, it's a classic duo almost. They've been together for a few years here. Kupp could actually be getting better. I thought he's good. He was very good last year. I thought he's a little underwhelming at times, couple drops downfield. But I think he gets better this year. I expect him to play better this year. And Robert Woods has been, I'd say, pretty consistent, kind of a do-it-all receiver. And now they got Matthew Stafford, so that could help as well. They come in at 13. 12 is going to be the 49ers. I guess health is kind of the question here, but very, very talented. George Kittle, one of the best, can be the best tight end in football. Getting better and better in terms of his routes, and we know he's a monster after the catch. Deebo Samuel, kind of another one of those do-it-all receivers. Very close to putting Brandon Ayuk here because he's more of your traditional receiver. He was lights out in his rookie season. Could be trusting him a little more to stay healthy, so that was kind of a toss-up. It's a good sign that they have multiple guys here that can fit in here, but got to stay healthy. Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best in the game. A.J. Green has declined a bit, but I still think definitely has some left in the tank. Still a good receiver, so I'm excited with them having these two wideouts. Hopkins is really controlled. I mean, everywhere, but if I'm going specific, it felt like that left sideline, he dominated over there. And A.J. Green, we see throughout the course of his career, dominate the sideline on the opposite side. Could that, create some problems for defenses? So I do like that. Hopkins, obviously the feature piece. I like that, even though they don't have Julio Jones, love the Falcons duo here. Calvin Ridley is rapidly getting better. Fantastic wide receiver, route runner. Understands defenses, and Kyle Pitts is going to be a monster right out the gate. Some people may not believe it, but this is an inline tight end / move tight end / X receiver, which is a wideout. He's a freak talent. You do not see guys like this every day. He's gonna be dynamic right off the bat. So Ridley Pitts is a very scary one here. Packers, Devontae Adams, who in my opinion is the best receiver in football right now, total package type of guy, obviously. That helps kind of be number 9, but it helps that they have a pretty good tight end here in Robert Tonyan. Well, I would watch out for Amari Rodgers, actually, a rookie, not a huge name guy. I know he played for a big school, Clemson. But if Aaron Rodgers plays, that Devontae Adams, Amari Rodgers could be nasty there. But I went with Adams and Tonyan. Tonyan had a big step-up season last year, touchdown machine. Next group of teams, we got the Bills. Stephon Diggs, one of the very best receivers in football. Separation, route running king here. And it does feel like he's getting better here, and it kind of helps that he has Josh Allen kind of fitting his style of play, only going in the second year as a duo. Cole Beasley, arguably one of the best true slot receivers in football, complement each other very well here. So I went with them at 8. Yeah, Diggs is a good amount better than Beasley, so you want to look for a little more balance, but Beasley's a fantastic talent. The Browns next. Another classic feel in terms of a duo. OBJ getting healthy. I heard he's in ridiculous shape. I mean, we had to see it to believe it here. Using a Mahomes line, and Jarvis Landry, obviously a do-it-all, consistent, balanced receiver, kind of picking up the slack when OBJ was there and wasn't there, I should say. So, yeah, I just hope these guys, mainly OBJ, stays healthy because it's a scary duo, especially with a team that is a dominant run team. So, they have that dominant of a run offense, and they have this potential in the passing game as well. Scary. Cowboys, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. I could actually argue that, CeeDee Lamb actually could be better than Amari Cooper this year. Is another one of those do-it-all receivers, can play all over the field, can run any route, can catch any ball. It looked like he was he did have a pretty monster season for a rookie, but it looked like it was going to be even crazier when Dak was in there, before Dak got hurt. So Dak back, that's fantastic. Amari Cooper, well-proven, well-known receiver here. Seahawks, DK Metcalf, who's rapidly getting better as well. Dominant deep threat. And then Tyler Lockett, who comes up clutch for them. Clutch catches anywhere in the field, red zone, field of play there inside, before the red zone. It's and I think it's a good group together too. They're both very good deep threats, but Metcalf having kind of that possession style, and then Lockett kind of a do-it-all guy, shifty guy. I think that really helps that Seahawks offense there. So they come in at 5. 4 is going to be the Buccaneers. They got Mike Evans, one of the better contested receivers in football, one of the better receivers in football. And Chris Godwin, a little underwhelming last year, but I thought he came up clutch in big-time moments. I think he was dealing with some broken fingers or a finger there, so maybe that was a reason why he had a little more drops than we're used to. But still a dynamic receiver, can dominate the slot or outside, deep ball, underneath. I think a better season this year. Could put Antonio Brown here. Could put Rob Gronkowski here. Gronkowski, they kind of pumped the brakes most of the regular season. I think they'll do that again. Kind of take it easy on him a little bit. So I went with Evans and Godwin here. The Vikings at 3. Justin Jefferson had a historic rookie season. He fits today's style receiver, too. I mean, he's a fantastic route runner. He understands coverages. He just knows how to get the separation. Great hands. Great after the catch. Could go up and catch it as well. So it really shouldn't be that surprising that he's good, because it's just that simple for guys with those traits to succeed in today's NFL. And Thielen's kind of had that for a bit. Was a touchdown machine, dominant in the red zone as well. So just have to figure out which one's better. I mean, Jefferson had all those yards. Thielen had all those touchdowns. Thielen's kind of leading the way here in terms of, leading the group. But yeah, it's a fantastic duo there. And the Titans, who obviously added Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, ridiculous duo. Julio, obviously, just got to stay healthy, some minor injuries, but we know about Julio, what he can do all over the field, all the traits that he has. But A.J. Brown is really taking over. It's a guy you get the ball in any way, and he can do crazy things after the catch. But what I liked is he proven he can be a lot more than that last year. He can dominate the red zone. He can go up and catch the ball, contested catch ability, just an athletic freak. So, I mean, this duo is ridiculous together. It's funny that 2 and 3, the Titans and the Vikings are kind of run-first teams, but they have these insane receiving duos. We did see last year both of those teams kind of opened up their passing game a little bit, probably because they have these duos, but we saw both of them do that, especially as the year went on. So excited to see what they got this year. It's kind of like the Browns too, run first team, but they got that dynamic duo there. Those teams could be scary offensively because of those reasons. Chiefs got to be number 1. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Apparently it's Kelce, he's telling us. That to me, that's the number one duo. Tyreek Hill, elite receiver, one of the best in football. Really, it feels like more and more teams are going towards speed again. I think Tyreek Hill is kind of responsible for that. But it's a guy. Yeah, you got to bracket. You got to put a corner on him. You got to put a safety over the top to even have a shot. It's just a problem. It's just kind of just him go get loose, and Mahomes just let it loose. It's just such a dominant athlete, dominant player here. Can get the ball to in any way. Travis Kelce just absolutely dominates the middle of the field better than anybody in football. One of those situations where, yeah, you kind of know it's coming, but you still really can't stop it. And it does feel like that he's actually getting better, crazy, in terms of reading defenses, which he's kind of always had, but his footwork and getting that separation. He's pretty athletic for his size, obviously, but he doesn't have Tyreek Hill speed or anything like that. So it's pretty crazy that the completeness to his game and what he can do. Tough to bring down after the catch as well. So they are number one for me. We will rank the entire core for receivers as well. That'll actually look a little different because some teams just have that duo or maybe a trio, and some teams got a long list of guys that they'll rotate in and out and play the whole game. So that'll be interesting, a little different, but same idea. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section on your rankings or my rankings. Check out that Twitter. It'd be much appreciated if you can follow that. Also, if you can subscribe to our channel, it'd be much, much appreciated again. But yeah, that is going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.